feel would be long-lasting. Let's put it that way. I didn't feel that this would work for us.
The broken courtship behind them, Cody began to spend more and more time with Janelle, who was once married to Mary's brother.
Cody, you felt that Janelle should marry a guy like you, is how you put it in the book. What made you think that Janelle should marry a guy like you? What was it about you?
I was disgustingly cocky and arrogant,
and you openly admit it.
I hope I've matured away from that. Janelle and I did not have necessarily a romantic courtship, but we looked at each other and said, now there's a person of character who, I mean, it's crazy, but who I think will raise mighty fine sons. We had love, we had conviction, we didn't necessarily have romance. Janelle and I actually talk a lot about finance.
Mary and Janelle went into this relationship knowing they would share a husband. But both women write about the difficulties that simmered when Cody made Janelle his second wife.
Mary, you did not choose Janelle, but did you fall in love with her?
I was very okay with Janelle coming in the family.
Were you? Because that's not when you read the book.
I was. I know, well, depends on what section of the book you're reading.
There's a lot of sections of the book where it's very clear this relationship didn't work.
This relationship did struggle. It still does struggle sometimes. For me, anyway, when she came into the family, I had my ideals. Okay, so
well, you just left this relationship with this individual that was so close.
I just got out of this broken engagement with this friend, and she was a friend. It wasn't just somebody who was dating my husband, you know. She was a friend, and we were very close. And I loved the relationship that I had with her. And I expected that that would be the relationship that I would have with Janelle. I mean, we did not enjoy each other's company. I think we were both just really critical of each other. It's like, well, you're not doing it my way, and that's stupid because my way's the best, you know, and I'm sure she felt the same way with, you know, with me.
Janelle, I know when you moved into Mary and Cody's guest room, you wrote in the book, I felt like a guest who had overstayed her welcome. Mary and I went from cordial to frosty overnight. Mary had quite an overbearing personality, and she made it clear I was disrupting her household. Did you ever think you made a wrong decision?
I never really had any doubts, but I do remember questioning, wow, I wonder if I've done the right thing here.
Mary is not the villain during this process.
She's not.
Mary simply had a colossal opinion. She had a very big opinion. She had an opinion that was important, and she believed in how she felt and so forth.
Because I was raised in a family that you could say what you wanted.
Right, and Janelle wasn't saying what she wanted and how she felt, and I was kind of in the middle of this going, what's going on? And just going, whoa.
Coming up, growing pains push one wife to the breaking point.
There was a fight one night. You said, I told Cody I was leaving.
And later, the kids speak for themselves.
I'm definitely one of those people who is not cut out for this lifestyle.
On television, the Browns seem almost like the average all-American family, with a few not-so-minor exceptions. But inside the pages of their new book, the sister wives reveal the unique and often painful challenges of plural marriage. The addition of second wife Janelle proved far more challenging than anyone anticipated.
Cody, Janelle said, we rarely spoke to each other. We were like roommates who didn't get along but managed to live together all the same. This was not the celestial plural marriage I'd imagined. It was uncomfortable and disheartening. So how hard was it for you to be caught in the middle of this?
You know, we were young, we were naive. Some personalities will work it out and some personalities won't.
About 6 months after she and Cody tied the knot, Janelle learned wonderful news that would nevertheless complicate an already difficult situation.
Janelle was actually the first to get pregnant. How hard was that for you to deal with?
It was rough, just because I, you know, wanted to be able to have a child of my own, give Cody a baby too.
Janelle, you wrote, I knew that it was going to be uncomfortable telling Mary that I was pregnant. She had been unable to conceive after 3 years of marriage. However, I have to say that I didn't care how she felt about my news. If it upset her, so be it. Things were incredibly tough in our relationship, so her feelings were of little importance to me at that moment.
That's how I felt at that time. We were at a tough place.
Did you know how hard that was going to be, though, for Mary
We
to take
knew,
that news?
and it was just something we have to take in consideration. And I don't think, in Mary's case, you should speak for yourself on this, that you were ever disappointed somebody was having a baby.
No.
It just made it more apparent that you weren't.
Janelle, you talk about how hard Mary was on you, particularly during the time when you were pregnant. You said, one of my friends and I had experimented with makeup. Mary began to ridicule the makeup I was wearing. This was the final straw. After all the passive-aggressive behavior for so many months, I completely lost it. I felt as if I was on the verge of a complete nervous breakdown.
It was.
Do you remember being in that moment? You wrote those words.
Yes, that was a very, and like, I mean, you remember the high points, both good and bad. And that was probably the toughest point for me.
Did you take it out on Janelle, the fact that she was pregnant before you?
I didn't perceive it as that.
No.
It was really just, it was just a point where we were arguing over, I don't remember. Do you know what I mean? I think Cody and
I don't see it as that you guys were fighting all the time. I see it as that Mary was, I mean, people grow. We learn. We were young, and Mary had a disposition to look at certain things and just have a critical analysis of it. It wasn't that Mary was evil. It wasn't that Mary was bad.
No, we're not saying that. We're
It
just,
simply
it
that
was an emotional point because this is something you had struggled with. You had not been able, you said you felt like your body had let you down because you hadn't been able to get pregnant. And so that leaves you in a very emotionally vulnerable point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A year after Janelle's son Logan was born, Mary would go on to have her daughter Mariah. Janelle would ultimately have 6 children. But after giving birth to her 5th child, things between the two sister wives neared the breaking point.
There was a fight one night, apparently the worst ever, as you wrote, Janelle. You said, I told Cody I was leaving. That night I got in the car and drove to my mother's house. What was that fight about?
I don't even know.
I honestly don't remember how that
You don't
started.
remember that moment that
Because, you know,
drove you out
it
of
was
the
like,
house?
no, we were always, I mean, we had such a difference. We had such a personality difference. It was little stupid things usually that I don't remember.
But you packed up the kids and you moved.
You know, though, I think there was a lot more going on.
More of a straw on a camel's back. You know, just
Yeah.
What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
I just had my 5th child, Gabriel, and I was postpartuming so bad. We were remodeling a house. I just reached that point. In my mind, I wasn't leaving. I just needed to get some space for me. I knew that I needed to go somewhere and get healthy again.
Do you have any regrets, Mary, though, about forcing Janelle to get to that point where she finally decided, I've had it. I'm out of here.
It was less on Mary. It was honestly, I'm going to take more responsibility for that because Janelle and I struggled in our own relationship for her to express what she needed. And honestly, Janelle needed her own space.
Let me hear what Mary had to say on that. Go ahead.
No, I don't feel like I forced Janelle
And I
to
don't feel
do
like
that
it was anything Mary did. I had just come to a point in myself where I knew for me I needed to make a change. And it was simply that I wasn't leaving the family. I just needed to do something different with the space.
Janelle sat down to tell more in a one-on-one interview.
Janelle, when I was reading through the book, I mean, I couldn't help but feel your pain. You were very honest about how turbulent the first year of marriage with Mary and Cody was. But yet hearing you talk today, it sounds like you seem okay with everything. Was it really hard on you then?
That first year was hard. I came in with a perspective. I had not grown up in a plural family. I didn't know how it was supposed to be. I had an idealized version in my head. And all of a sudden the rubber hit the road and there was all these personalities I was dealing with, Cody's idiosyncrasies and Mary's idiosyncrasies, and they were dealing with mine. And it was like, wow, this is hard.
Was Mary mean to you?
My perception was that she was hard on me at first, yes.
Mean.
I don't know, do you know what I mean? Hard, yeah, hard.
How are you two?
Do you know what, I think we are always working on our relationship. We will always have to be working because our personalities are different.
Are you being more accepting and more open with Janelle in that way? Are you trying to make sure that you know, you're meeting her needs the same way she's meeting your needs?
I feel like we're doing the best that we can with each other, with our vastly different personalities.
Coming up, Cody comes clean.